everybody, welcome out to the Death Battle Cast, the show where we talk about, well, death battle and lots of other nerdy things. So if you like that stuff, you're in the right place. Hey, I'm Chad.
I'm Nick, writer for Power Rangers VS Voltron.
I'm Torian. I animated this monstrosity.
I'm Sam. I didn't have anything to do with this one, but I'm here.
Because, once again, it wouldn't be an episode release week if Ben were out of town or sick.
I think he's doing it on purpose now as a joke.
He just doesn't want to be on camera anymore.
He's playing the long game.
No, it's just when you're given the options of being here on a podcast or a tropical island, we'd all take island.
He's going to Portugal right now, actually.
I don't know. I
Close
like doing
enough.
the
Old
podcast. I
south
like
of the
this
border way, huh?
Yeah. Hey,
South?
quick thank
It's
you.
a Arrested Development joke. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Quick thank you to Blue Apron for sponsoring this episode. We will tell you guys more about that later in the show and how you can hook yourself up with some awesome, delicious, and pretty good food, man. So, yeah. Thank you to them, and stay tuned. How you guys doing?
Good.
Doing pretty well.
Yeah.
I finally got to play some ukulele
Yeah?
last night. I started playing at like 9 o'clock, and then it was about 2 in the morning.
Really?
Yeah, I'm liking it so far. I know a lot of people have been complaining about it. I'm hoping I don't find those bad parts that they keep talking
I mean,
about.
as long as you like it, that's what matters.
Yeah, it's all
So
that
far,
matters.
so good.
Forget the internet. It's not like Torian and Iron Fist, which we don't need to go down that hole again.
We're not, because Nick found out firsthand.
I only
That
made
I
it
am
through
right.
an episode and a half before we just skipped around.
You know, and then ended
to
up watching
looking for
Daredevil.
fight scenes. We found 2.
And Torian, are you feeling all refreshed? Back from your week vacation after completing Megazord Voltron?
Yes, Chad. Thank you for that, oh glorious manager.
It's best, Chad.
We have to call him that, otherwise he gets
Yeah,
upset.
and he kills us.
Goddamn right. Don't forget the oh glorious part, or else.
The oh glorious. No,
Magnificent is always acceptable to
yeah,
you.
no, it was cool. It was cool. Just not doing work-related stuff. That's what a vacation usually is.
Most of the time.
Well, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I wonder how Torian's doing. And I go to his Twitter and I just see, he picks up the phone. He's like, I call this, I got phone insurance challenge. And then just goes, whoo, and just fucking hooks the phone with the camera on it. And it makes this like really comical, like,
I was so entertained by that.
it cracked me up. And I was just
so
like,
entertained by
well,
that.
clearly Torian is having fun on his vacation.
I was like,
oh man, no. What were you gonna say?
I just liked how the camera couldn't quite keep up with how fast it was rotating, so it looked like it was entering an alternate dimension or something.
You got good spin on it, that's for sure.
I was trying because I did that. Why did I throw my phone in the first place? Oh, I threw it at a kid.
Yeah. Wait, what? Hold on. I thought the ridiculous statement was just going to be, why did I throw my phone in the first place?
Did you tomahawk
But
throw
go
your phone
on,
at
why
a
were you
child?
throwing your phone at a child?
I didn't target them. I like threw it in the general direction. So and
I mean,
it hit the ground and
No.
no.
Why?
Well, we
So
were
they can
throwing
catch
stuff.
it.
Yeah,
They're
we
playing
were at
catch.
we were at the park and we were just throwing.
Catch it with his face?
We were just
or-
throwing items. We were throwing toys or whatever.
He's like, what? We're just throwing stuff.
That's what kids. That's what you do with kids. You throw footballs.
Were you
And,
about to say that's what kids do,
That's
and
what
then
kids
stop yourself
do.
when you realize you're not
Well,
a kid?
I was with kids.
But you are not a kid.
But we were all.
You are an
I
adult.
had to look. I had to
Most of the
entertain the
time.
kids by throwing stuff, right? So when I threw the phone, I looked at how it spun. And I was like, oh, man, I should record that. So then I did it again
In the
but
field.
You just don't know how high this phone was because I wanted it to spin a bunch. Like I wanted it to spin a lot. I threw this phone like way in the air, and after 2 seconds, I was like, oh no.
2 seconds and it still hasn't hit the ground again?
See, I would have gone with the shuriken method. I would have thrown it that way.
Yeah.
So you get the spins.
Oh man.
I know. His was perfect, man.
It worked
Like,
pretty well.
It was
Oh,
a comical
man.
video. The sound is what really sells it.
Yeah. I picked it up and then I played it back. I just died laughing. I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Um,
So at least you got that accomplished on your week off, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Because man, you were really putting it in to get Megazord versus Voltron done, and man, God, that fight was so cool. So
Yeah.
if you don't know, Megazord versus Voltron just went up on YouTube. If you're watching this live, it's up on YouTube right now. So if you haven't seen that yet,
just open up a
you
tab.
might want to, do that, because
there.
we're going to talk about that here in a second and get into spoilers and things.
If you're a first member, you probably have already seen it. And there is a new video for you guys. Commentary
Yep.
is
that's
up
right.
now.
So we started doing if you're wondering what First Membership is, it's a cool service you can sign up for that allows you to watch our videos early, get bonus content, even get like discounts in the merch store, and it also goes across like all Rooster Teeth brands. It's a great way to support the show. There's a link in the description. You guys can start a 30-day free trial. But we wanted to have a first exclusive something for Death Battle, and we were like, you know what? Why don't we do some commentary on the episodes? Because like they get a bit behind the scenes when they come to watch cast. A lot of it's just us talking about nerdy shit and going around.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of fun doing the first one, and the feedback was really, really positive. People were like, oh, this is really cool to hear like little additional things and like how things came to be in certain ways. And so we were like, all right, well, let's keep doing it. So that's the new First Membership thing that we added. So go watch it.
Thanks to all the first members.
Yeah. All right. We talked a little bit, if you watched the past couple episodes, talking a lot about Megazord versus Voltron and how like we've been wanting to do this fight literally since season 1. Like since the first Death Battle concept was planned out on paper of fights we should do, Megazord versus Voltron was on there. And I have been so hyped to have this thing come out to the public. And
I think we all have.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's been so much excitement around the office, especially because it's such a unique thing. Like, we've been working on it for so long, and then we had so many different things that caused it to be delayed with, like, getting assets for animation and things like that. So, like, it just felt like we've just been so close, but it's been happening for so long. So I'm super stoked that it's out. And, I figured we could talk a bit about it. Well, first of all, damn good job, Torian.
Oh, thank you. I thought you were going to say something else.
Clip, clap, clip, clap, clap.
Yeah.
It was cool. I watched it the most.
Yes, I will
I don't
agree.
doubt
You
it,
probably
yeah.
watched it more than anyone else.
Like, I'm going to tell you a secret. When I was finished and then I went out of town on the plane, I was sitting next to a guy and I was like, check this out. Check this video out.
Are you serious?
No.
Okay. I never know with you.
Like random plane guy is gonna go spoil it.
Even if I
Check this out. I was
He's
on a
leaked
plane.
shit on Twitter before. Like,
Yeah, but
You're like-
plane guy didn't.
Plane guy, if anything, will think it's just another YouTube video. And he goes
Hey.
to search for it, and it's nothing.
Hey, guys, sitting next to me, I'm like, you want to know what it looks like to break an NDA?
yeah, and then the securities came on the plane. They beat the shit out of him. He started
Dragged
talking
him
about
off.
how he was a doctor, and you know,
They dragged me out, and you see me just holding the phone up. Look, now you are now.
Oh my god. So, sorry, how many models total that you were working with?
22, right?
22.
Good God. And then environments.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good God. No. What's very cool about this what's very cool about this video, cool and frustrating, right? Is it sorry? It's a habit. There's so many characters. So much stuff had to be done. I have probably done the most modeling I've done in years, right? Or just mesh modding or whatever. We got Reed. She built the Megazord, which was fucking ridiculous.
Looked
Yeah.
so good.
Speaking of which, guess who? She still has my Megazord.
Oh yeah, the
Reed,
toy.
if you're watching,
Oh,
the original
You kidnapped her.
transforming Megazord that I got when I was a child, and
never
it's
gonna
my
bring it
like
back.
favorite toy of all time.
No, she's holding
And
it
I told
hostage.
her that needed to come back, and it's been a while. It better come back, Reed. Better come back.
I don't think she's gonna
Anyway,
give it back.
she better give it back.
I think your chances are slim.
No, dude, I'll show up there.
Do you even know where there
Where's my
is?
Megazord?
Like you know where there is?
He just said I'll show up.
Yeah.
So what freaks me out about this video, what amazes me still, is that she made that. Like, it's crazy. It was a blank screen, and then she like, hey, does this look okay? And it was the Megazord. And I was like, what do you mean? This looks exactly like it.
You know that scene in Back to the Future when Doc Brown is outlining the plan to like put the bolt of lightning into the flux capacitor? He's like, please forgive the crudity of this model. I didn't have time to paint it or make it to scale. And it's just like this really elaborate. It's kind of like one of those.
Yeah. So like we got two Voltron models. I don't know if people spoilers. I don't know if people noticed that in the fight. And two different Voltron models. The lines are from one, and the chess pieces from that same one.
Yep.
And then we have the Voltron robot from the guy who worked on a similar video.
Yeah.
So, and then we had the Zords that Nick found like literally like at the very last second.
It was
We
looking
found
like we
them.
weren't going to be able to have the Zords show
At
up
all,
at all.
like in any capacity.
And then I just typed into Google. Power
When in
Rangers
doubt-
Zord models.
That's all you
like,
have to do.
I was like, hey, Torian, I don't know if you can work with these, but these look all right. And Torian's is like, yeah, these will work. And then they were in the video.
And I just like threw them on the pile of all the other shit I had to do.
You know what I think? Maybe
you.
You're welcome.
Maybe next week. Well, it'll be on to the next fight. But I might grab some screenshots of the original Zord models.
Oh, we used one.
Oh, did you?
Really?
We used the Sabertooth.
Okay, nice. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were not good. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Oh, man.
Or the
was-
pilots. That will be bad. The pilots are funny. Because I made the pilots, but I mesh modded them. So I just took some other models and kind of...
Wasn't Pidge
Yeah,
literally
did
Harry
he use
Potter?
Harry Potter? Yeah.
Pidge is Harry Potter. Actually,
it worked. It
Okay,
worked
so
so
Pidge
good.
is Harry Potter. Lance and Keith are from Dynasty Warriors.
Really?
That explains a lot.
Alora is from... She's from either DOA or some other game, whatever. Hunk is clearly like this 40-year-old man. He's like some character from Armia 2. And I just mesh modded them. Yeah, I edited a lot of the texture work is custom. I made the textures. And I just
like when
kinda
the
make them
power
look
coin
like
showed
suits
up
and stuff.
in the back of the Megazord. Because Torian was like, hey, you think I should have that coin? I was just like, I mean, it'd be cool. You know, that's what I said. And then he was just like, all right. And then he just like, there it is. Immaculate. Exactly.
Yeah, I made that. So,
Man.
I made the entire Power Rangers cockpit.
Yeah?
Really?
Yeah. So I made that in like a day because we didn't have it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we legit did not have one. So I was like, okay, so I'm just fucking make one. So that was cool. Man, there's so many moving parts. You know what I would love to do? I would love to just do like a commentary on just the construction of this video because it's so long, so many months, so much involvement and stuff like that. Like I can sit here all day and talk about it, but a lot of people, a lot of help. I personally think it came out cool. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
You personally?
Wow. No, that's good for him. Like, just like you were talking about with the Reed thing, this is how we feel all the time. When, like, is this okay? And then we're like, it's unbelievably amazing. He does his shit all the time. We're like, I'll go up and ask him. And
Because
I'll be like, Torian, that was awesome. He's like,
because it's
okay."
hard to see when you're like in the middle of production, right? So if you're making a movie and you're shooting stuff out of place, or you're on location here, you're on location there, and this is gonna look this way in post, and when we get the green screen footage, this is okay. You can't really tell if your movie's gonna look great or not, right? That's why I guess that's what makes good directors and bad directors, because they have this clear vision and they know how to push it. A lot of times, especially with our hectic production cycle, you can't really see what's gonna happen, right? So at the very end, especially when I got the sound from Noel, oh my God, it was so good. Like little tweaks here, little tweaks there, whatever. Then it finally came together for me, and I was like, okay, this is pretty fun.
Yeah, it's crazy. We had so many different people work on this fight. So Jerome helped out with some animation.
Yeah,
He
did all the cockpit stuff.
Yeah, Brandon did a custom track, which everyone is loving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Noel helps with sound design. Reed was doing models. This has been a titanic project, and it came out super awesome. Tori did a really good job, and I just have to say, I'm so glad you apparently saw this in some other media. But one of my favorite parts of the fight is when the Megazord just starts blasting
The
Voltron,
cranial laser.
The cranial laser.
Oh yeah,
and they just starts just doing the lumbering walk.
Supergirl from Injustice
from
2.
Injustice 2. She does something like that, and
Yeah,
I came up to Nick and I was like,
Her trailer came out like a day or two before, and Torian was like, hey, you see that Supergirl trailer? I'm thinking of doing something kind of like that with the laser. I was like, yeah, that'd be great.
and like the next day, it was like.
I think it's my favorite part of the fight,
So,
because it's just the
that's
blast
cool.
and just the lumbering.
Like, that's
walk
the
going
coolest
through.
that laser has ever been.
Yeah, I know it. Oh, man, so I looked up references for that laser, and I was like, "This is dumb. They don't use this at all." They used it like once out of nowhere for whatever stupid reason. And I was like,
Out of nowhere describes a lot of the things that happen in Power
so
Rangers.
I'm like, I'll try to find a way to make it cool, and he shoots it defensively and then offensively.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. A lot of that fight choreography is cool because I think of Megazord as a giant robot kickboxer, right? I may have stretched his
Pretty much.
mobility
A little
a
bit.
bit, especially with the rolling out of the way of the laser.
Yeah, see, we talked about that though before.
I don't think you did.
I
think that was still accurate.
Okay, so when I was deciding some of Megazord's mobility, I'm thinking of the stuntman in the costume. I'm not thinking about the robot. And I had to kind of break my mentality off of that because
Have you seen footage of when the Megazord gets knocked down and gets back up? They literally just reverse footage
I know
of it sitting down.
And obviously, I have to make sense of that, and they want you to be like, the Megazord could do that, but
Yeah.
Right.
we have to edit it so you can look like it. So that's why, like, even like one of the fights, he like does like a spin with the sword. He kind of lifts his leg up to kick Voltron. Little small but broody type stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever. Nothing too funny. I thought the coolest thing was when Voltron, they decide not to go for the sword after they lose it and they tackle him.
Yeah.
That was really silly.
Man.
And he tosses this. How big is the Megazord? Like, how much is it?
333 feet,
They just toss him.
172,000 pounds.
Spin toss him.
Tori and I only have one gripe. One gripe about
Here we
the
go.
fight. And that is that right at the very end, when spoiler coming now, 3, 2, 1. Okay. When Voltron wins, there's this epic pose, right? Voltron's missing an arm, you know? And he has this epic pose, and it's like a perspective from down going up, and I just wanted his feet to roar.
Oh, what? Oh, no. You're right. And there's Noel put a roar in there. Like, you can hear it.
Really?
Yeah, you can hear a roar while he's posing. You can hear it.
It's
he
like
roars.
Voltron is one of the few characters that can taunt with their feet. You know, like
I didn't even think
they
about
can
that.
cheer. So like he's got a
missed
sword in
opportunity.
one hand, missing its other, looks awesome, and then the feet just go rah.
Well,
Did the feet ever roar?
Yeah.
When it
Oh, okay.
transforms into Voltron,
Roar, roar,
the head
Yeah.
opens up, it roars, roar, and then it goes down to the feet, which is really weird. the feet roar individually.
Yeah, I haven't seen Voltron in ages, so
I haven't seen it
oh
in
man,
like
such
2
a missed
days.
opportunity. You're right. Such a man. I was too busy trying to make that pose as cool as I can. You should see all the fucking mocap.
Oh yeah.
And all the different fucking poses I was making.
Wait. Do you still have it?
I think so, yeah.
Can we just you should cut that together and give us a little like Torian's posing montage. You know, just all these different final
Torian's pose of the
poses.
week.
And
pose of the week could be good. Yeah.
it's cool because so like especially like the flying bits, right? What I'll do with that, I might not necessarily use the motion capture, but what I'll do is there's like 12 cameras in there, so it's really great for references, right? So I'll just reference myself doing something, but I just edited mocap on that, so he flies towards the Megazord, so you just see me standing there in the pose. And then I'll do the last thing or whatever. You gotta use your imagination.
Yeah, there you go.
So
All right, so we talked a lot about the animation because it was spectacular and probably one of my favorites ever. But why don't we go into Nick? You want to go into a little bit deeper, like why Voltron over the Megazord?
Why it won?
Yeah.
Gosh, it had like pretty much every advantage you can think of. Like they're tougher, they're stronger, faster. Their projectile game is ridiculous. They have projectile like 5 different kinds in the head. The hands and feet each shoot different kinds. They even shoot lasers out of the chest. They play a
in
really
the shape
good.
of like a cross.
Yeah. They play.
Yeah, and
they
it then
play,
turns into a tornado for good measure.
They have more weapons than just the sword. We didn't show them because let's be honest, the sword is the only one that matters. But it's their long range game that was one of the big factors because like the Megazord has the sword, it has the cranial laser, and in some like video games and stuff like that, they have other projectiles, but otherwise they're fighting up close the whole time.
Yeah.
So Voltron can outrange and damage it, and the Megazord takes hits all the time.
Right, and that's
Stuff's going to land.
Yeah, it definitely will happen. That's the thing. The Megazord just it takes so many hits, and like sometimes.
Because that makes it more exciting to watch.
Yeah, well, then also because it's a guy in a clunky suit, and he's not
Yes.
going to do that roll out of the way of a laser because that's not going to fly. But so you know,
Right? I'm just kidding.
like there's definitely examples of the Megazord taking too much damage. Luckily, a lot of times a powered sword will like help recharge it. But we then also were like, oh look, here's Voltron just surviving black hole gravity.
Yeah, that was
Cool.
one of the that was one of the things that told us it can take pretty much anything the Megazord is ever going to throw at it.
Yep. Hey, fun fact. So, in Death Battle, we're always like researching, right? So
Yeah.
even though like research has been completed on a fight, as we're going through, we're still always looking at stuff. And so originally we had based like heights off of the way we do a lot of times if a character doesn't have an official height or something, and that's where we take something that we know the height of, we use it off scaling off of things. And,
We there were points in research when for both the Megazord and for Voltron, we weren't completely sure how tall they were, but stats had been given for the shows that they're both based off of. So like Super Sentai for the Megazord, I believe it was like 41 meters. For a time, we were going off of that until we found out that there was in 2014 they re-released the Megazord toy, and they had some like stats on the side of the box, and so we found the scan of the box, and it says 333 feet tall, which is like 200 feet taller than what we thought it was originally. But then it also had its weight, like despite being that tall, it's only 172,000 pounds somehow. Voltron, for a time, we were also kind of filling in the gaps with Go Lion, the show that's originally based off of. Because again, that one has stats, I think it was like 197 feet. They never gave a weight, so we had to just kind of estimate.
Japanese shows are, I feel like they're very, a lot of times they're very detail oriented. And a lot
yeah.
of media comes out too where it's like even if they don't explicitly state it in the show, like sometimes there's always like a little pamphlet to go along. Like in case you're curious, this robot is this tall and this. You know, heavy.
Absolutely. Like in Street Fighter 2, if you let the title screen play out for a while, it tells you like the character's blood type.
Right.
And stuff that Japan does this kind of thing.
Yeah, in America, we're just like, just write something down. And it's like, the dinosaurs were there 10,000 years ago on Earth, right?
Yep, that's how Power Rangers works. No, but Voltron, though, for a while we were filling in the gaps with Go Lion until, again, we discovered that there was a Voltron 30th anniversary book. And they give the height as 300 feet. They even gave the weight, which was awesome, which was like 5,500 tons. So it's almost as tall as a Megazord, but like way heavier. It was also really handy when they gave the heights and weights for every single row beast that they've ever fought.
That's what was so awesome, because they're like, a lot of times, that's the kind of stuff where we have to really like okay, how are we going to figure out? Like,
Yeah.
Because it's picking up, like Voltron was kicking this, like,
This
construction robot monster, and you're like, how much does that weigh?
Let me explain what our original method for trying to calculate that whole kicking feat was. Before we found out that it weighed like 3,900 tons, we had nothing to go off of, or so we thought. So what our original method was to like take because it's obviously supposed to be like a bulldozer, right? So we decided to take, okay, if we took like the world's dinkiest bulldozer that Caterpillar is selling, and like scale it up, we figured, okay, it would probably weigh, I don't even remember what the number was.
It was like a rough estimation of how much this thing is going to be.
Yeah. So that's what we were going off of. So I was really thankful to find that 30th anniversary resource.
But then sometimes those come out and you go, oh yeah, let me go back and redo all the math.
Yep. So we did. But I felt so much better about it, though, because like nobody's going to argue with the official 30th anniversary book. So
very, very true, which is really cool. I really want to go and just, like, I didn't get to read through it all, and like I would love to like get like all the little extra.
Although that book did kind of, I don't know if there's one stat in that book that I don't think I can trust, and it's that Pidge is 5.5 feet tall. No, he's not. They say Keith is like 6'3" or whatever, and Pidge is 5'5". But if you look at him, there's a picture in the same book of them standing right next to each other. Pidge comes up to like his waist.
It's like saying Krillin's 5'5".
Yeah.
You're just like, no, he's not. Like,
Pidge is a little person, as we call him. He's also somehow 24 years old, according to that book. I thought he was like 12.
Yeah.
In the show, they always say he's the youngest one, so it still holds up, I guess. Whatever.
So, real quick before we move on, favorite things in coming across, like doing researching Power Rangers and Voltron. I can tell you right now, for me, like hands down, that Pidge scene with the grenade is the best thing ever.
Yeah,
and if you guys haven't watched that yet, we told you last week, you need to go watch that. Go do it.
Did we tell them last week, or did we tell them in the commentary? I think it was the commentary.
Oh, you're right. It was the commentary.
You need to look up the episode. I think it was just called The Sleeping Princess. Just skim through that episode if you can find it. It's on Netflix right now. Skim through that episode and just watch the scene because it's so funny. Pidge is nuts.
Sam, did you see this scene at all?
No.
Okay. It's
Set the
amazing.
stage.
So, for whatever reason, Princess Allura is like unconscious or asleep or something like that, right?
The bad guys are going to go kidnap her, take her away.
Yeah, and like one of the bad guys, like Zarkon or somebody, has her, and so Pidge is like, shit, like, I gotta stop this, right? And
There's
so
only
his
one thing I
solution
can do.
is he pulls out a grenade and like pulls the pin,
yeah.
and he's like, let her go, I'm gonna kill us all, whatever.
Like,
and then
he says, I ought to feed you this. And they're like, oh, okay. So they
gets
put the
real
princess
serious.
down. They put the princess down, and then Pidge is like, I'm warning you. But like they complied. They met his demands. And then they just carrying this grenade.
And they're like,
oh no,
shit! But the whole time they're like, Pidge, no! Because like they did what he said,
Yeah,
but he's
even-
like, "Oh, you fucked up now." Like, you know, just,
Even Keith is like, Pidge, drop the grenade.
instead he throws it, and they're like, "Let's get out of here."
Well, no, he doesn't throw it. Like, Pidge was going to go through with it. He was going to sacrifice all the something. I think somebody kicked him. I can't remember what it was. The grenade gets knocked out of his hand and just goes flying and explodes
what it was.
tremendously. And the grenade explosion wakes up Princess Allura, and Pidge is like, "I woke you."
Yeah, like,
I hope the writers of that way back when had as much fun as I hope they did writing that.
I think they were just trying to get through the day. They were just like, whatever, get this sleep. Pitch is a nut. Who cares? Let's just get it done with. Like,
that shit was so
hilarious.
funny. Like, we
then-
all just were laughing our asses off in that scene.
Yeah. So if you'll notice, we took some inspiration from that scene in the actual animation
Yeah.
because Kaisernickel, Scott, voicing Pidge, when he says "get away," the take that got used, I think, was like the third take. The first take, he screamed the full like 16 seconds to match the scream that Pidge did with the grenade scene.
Yeah.
It was literally a 16-second
Sorry.
scream.
I had some of that VO and I was trying to mocap it, and that's me mocapping his motion. Like, I'm just in that pose for like however long he was screaming that.
16 seconds.
Screaming. Okay. All right. So that's funny. I think the funniest thing I've come across, just researching because I had to build that cockpit, so I was looking up cockpit stuff. Did you guys know that the Green Ranger?
Just so you know, Dorian, cockpit is what you're going for. It keeps sounding like cockpick. Like, I just want you to know that. Those are pit. Those are two entirely different things. Please don't search the other one.
cock pitch.
Just a short scene where they're in the Megazord. I don't know what happens, but the Green Ranger gets into the Megazord
yeah.
and he breaks through the door. He just punches the fuck out of the Yellow Ranger,
Oh,
and the
really?
cockpit explodes.
Yeah, it's awesome. Dude, I've seen people. That GIF is resurfaced with a caption when the Megazord is overbooked and they need to get rid of somebody.
Tommy just busts
Yeah,
in.
they're sitting there.
He's just in there and just decks Trini so hard.
They're sitting there.
There's just like an explosion of sparks, and then I think that's how they all
They
get
were
kicked out of the
fighting him
Megazord.
outside. They got into the Megazord to fight him, right? And they're looking down at him. He jumps away.
Of
Right?
course, what do they
He
do?
jumps away, and it cuts them in the cockpit, and the door slams open. And he's like, "Yeah!" He just punches Trini. The cockpit explodes, and everyone flies to the front. He didn't hit anyone. He didn't hit anything. Like,
could
it's his
explode.
sure will.
Just to the sheer shock of the audience.
They do like a quick extreme zoom on him when he breaks
Oh,
in.
yeah, of
It's
course.
so good.
Man, I wish the Twitch marathon was still going on. Can we do that again?
You know, you can just get the power. Buy the DVDs.
No,
and
no, no,
get
no,
last
no,
episode.
I'm not
Yeah.
talking about watching the show. I'm talking about watching it with the Twitch chat.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's the experience.
Yeah. You gotta have all the ridiculous hashtag not my ranger stuff going on.
Oh,
Going
yeah.
on for everything past like season 2.
Yeah.
People still telling Justin to shut up.
Oh man, the memories, the good times.
Yep, man. Anyway, this episode was a ton of fun to work on.
So much
So
fun.
glad that it is finally out. I know this is going to be one of my favorite of all time. So cool. And we'll talk a little bit maybe about what we got coming up next. But first, I think you're looking hungry. If I could see you through the internet, I'm just gonna make an educated guess that you're hungry. Well, I have good news for you. You guys need to get in on this Blue Apron. Blue Apron is the #1 fresh ingredient recipe and delivery service here in the country. If you're wondering what that means, basically it's a service that sends delicious, fresh food straight to your door. I cannot tell you how much I love Blue Apron. One, because they are humongous supporters of just Screw Attack in general. Death Battle has been a cast. They've done a bunch of great support for us, and we very
yeah.
much thank them for it. Yeah. And also, like, I really love the product. Like, it's been awesome. Like, you get to go, like, when I first heard about it, I was like, I don't know, because, like, I'm kind of a picky eater at times, but, like, I thought it was gonna be like, they just send you something, and that's what you get. But it's not that at all. So you
can
get to
choose.
Yeah, you get to go onto their website, choose the meals that sound good to you, like, and then they will arrive, right? And then you're just like, whoa. And it's perfectly proportioned ingredients, so there's no food waste, and everything's recyclable. It's great. And it's the easiest thing in the world. There's a nice sheet of paper, tells you how to make the food. You have all the things in front of you in their proportioned ingredients to make said food, and then you just go, and you cook it. And then you make some ridiculously awesome sounding meal that will impress whoever you're trying to impress, because I've made better meals with Blue Apron than I ever have in my life. So some of the stuff they have coming up are the spinach and fresh mozzarella pizza with olives, bell peppers, and ricotta salad.
Ooh.
Sweet and sour salmon with bok choy, carrot, and ginger fried rice. Parmesan crusted chicken with creamy fettuccine and roasted broccoli.
That also sounds great.
And then baby broccoli and fontina paninis with hard-boiled eggs and arugula salad.
Oh.
So listen, it's going to be real easy. I got something to ask of you guys. You will love how it feels and tastes to create your fresh ingredient meals right at home. And you can get 3 meals free with free shipping. Free food. Just head to blueapron.com/DVC. Try it for yourselves. I know you guys will enjoy it. There's a lot of great stuff coming up, and they've been a huge supporter of the show. So blueapron.com/DVC, and you will enjoy it.
I made some burgers from Blue Apron. That shit was great.
Oh, yeah.
I had some salmon stuff for lunch from him yesterday.
Yeah, we're all
Delicious.
on the apron, as we call it.
On the apron.
You know, they could say on apron
On the
strings.
apron.
It's good to be on apron strings because it's delicious food.
Great. Oh, you know what they should do, though? I think it's a missed opportunity. Well, maybe not. But they should give you like an apron, like a blue apron.
A deluxe extra package
Yeah,
or
that'd
something.
be dope. Like a
Who
blue
knows?
apron.
Maybe for long-term supporters.
Ah, that'd
Yeah.
be cool.
I don't know. Hit the 6-month mark soon. Maybe I'll get the apron. Who knows?
Oh.
Yeah, that'll be good. All right, cool. Well, thanks to Blue Apron for sponsoring the episode. Man, next up, we really wanted with this season to hit a lot of big requested matchups. And so, like, we'll still do our things. Like, we threw in Scrooge McDuck versus Shovel Knight because, come on, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But so, like, Power Rangers Voltron's up there, and we saw this one a lot, and we really like to do anime fights when we can fit them in our schedule because there's a lot of stuff to go through. But we just announced that next up is Natsu versus Ace.
I wrote this one.
Yep.
I did it.
Now it's your turn to
Yeah,
talk.
see, now you can talk about stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of done talking about One Piece and Fairy Tail, but yeah, let me tell you, that's a lot of stuff to watch.
Those are
That's
like-
why. That's
Those
what
are
it
some of
means
the
by
two biggest properties
yeah.
out there.
like it's hard to fit an anime fight in. It's just God, there's so much. Like, oh my god. Like collectively, well over 1,000 episodes. Like, what are you gonna do? It took so long.
Was it enjoyable?
I mean, both of them, like both the series, I both like parts of them and don't like parts of them. You know, and
That's what happens with long anime series.
and also it's not like I am not the target demographic for either of those shows. You know,
Okay.
so there's stuff.
Also,
where,
you can't skip around.
Yeah, you
Just
really because you
specifically
miss
for
one.
why you're watching
yeah, you
it,
miss
yeah.
one tiny thing where they do a thing once and then you've screwed up. So you like gotta be pretty litigious about it. So yeah, but they both do have really good parts to them and then equally bad parts.
So that's what it's like with, like, you know, I've watched a lot of anime. I used to be really, really into it, and it's been great, like, doing Double Talk because I get to watch anime now every week. I mean, I could have before, but, you know, with timing and stuff.
Now you have to.
It gives me a reason, you know?
You get
and,
paid for it.
Yeah, which is, well, actually, I don't get paid for Double Talk.
Someone fucked your contract up. I'm just kidding.
Anyway, so, yeah, man, I can tell you, like, when you get on those long series, like, the first, oh, God. The one that stands out in my mind the most, I know I had this happen before then, but Bleach. Bleach was the first anime to, like, where I was just like, I'm loving this. And then you hit an arc where you're just like, what is this trash? Like, it just, oh, God. There's, like, the whole Bounto arc wasn't my favorite. And, like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, Say. Like, you can get into it.
Yeah.
And then, like, there's so much that they have to do. And sometimes you got to deal with, like, oh, they've caught up to the manga and they need to do filler or whatever. And
especially with like animes with casts this large, there's always one character that you hate. And you're just like, oh, this one again. Like, it's gonna be
Especially
episode
when they,
about
like-
this turd. Like,
I was just about to say, especially when they make a whole episode about
oh
it.
god, yeah. But I mean, in general, luckily the characters Natsu and Ace are, not characters I hate, so they were easier to deal with. I'm glad we're not doing like, say, Happy the flying cat that Natsu
I
has.
fucking
Like
hate
that
that
cat.
thing, bro.
I don't know why it's so annoying.
I hate that thing. I hate
And,
all of them.
Wait, what is
Yeah.
this flying cat?
Okay,
you know the voice of Happy, Tia Ballard, voiced for us before.
that's
Oh,
great.
yeah, I've met her a couple times.
Yeah,
She's very nice.
she's
Yeah.
a very
She
she's a
played
very
Tifa.
yeah, she's a very nice lady. However,
Yeah.
that character's garbage. All of them are. All of the
what
little
is- what
fucking
is-
cat people.
What's the deal with
he
this
has
cat?
like a flying cat friend. If you've ever seen anything fairy tale, there's a couple of them in the
I know
franchise.
Poir from Dragon Ball.
Well,
That's a flying
okay.
cat.
Fair.
But
Fair, but no, it's different. And then they're very like, chibi's not the right word, but they're they're not. They don't look like
They're
actual
plushy.
cats.
They're
inside.
over-emotive.
We're selling plushies.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
most of the Dragon Slayers have them.
The mascot
it
characters,
feels like they're in there to be mascot characters,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
they're just
of
kind of
course.
annoying. And they have super high pitched, squeaky voices.
Of course.
I think
and,
the only
you know,
one who doesn't have one is Sting, or the Poison guy might not. The Poison Dragon Slayer might not have.
No,
one.
Sting definitely has.
Sting
one.
has one.
Definitely.
Okay, so yeah, the Poison.
And
the poison
that
guy
one
doesn't
is
have one.
super dramatic when
Yeah.
they're fighting.
Yeah, and they're like, okay,
Because he has a whole promise. He's like, I
Yeah.
promise you I'll never leave.
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
never lose a
They're
fight.
like-
And I'm like, it's your cat.
they're like fucking Dragon Slayer hype men or something.
Yeah.
The only situation where it
Pretty
makes
much.
sense is that it's for Wendy because she's a kid, right?
Yeah.
And so she can have the little fucking plushie thingy or whatever. But these grown ass killing dragon ass men.
You're a heartless monster. Well, you don't have a pet?
I mean, to be fair, Happy like helps him fly and stuff. But
Sure.
Dude, if my dog was sentient, like, if it could talk a lot, if it could speak like a human, there we are.
I don't know.
If you could understand English and it could fly around me, that'd be awesome.
I don't know if Sam feels this way, but they don't add anything to those characters.
Yeah,
except
not
for
really.
Wendy, because obviously, okay,
Yeah.
again, she's
Hers
cute
makes
pet,
sense.
Whatever. The rest of them,
And I think that's just a lot of that like Shonen Jump kind of style
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
where it's just like we have this like, oh, super serious, cool, dramatic fight, laugh, laugh, laugh. Oh, titty humor, like, and it just does this. It just swings all over the place, like with that kind of stuff. And I just want like some really serious stuff. And I'm like, why don't people die? Like, it should have been over in like 3 seasons, and almost everyone should be dead, and everyone should be sad. Like that's where I'm at in my life. It's like that's real. So but
or if they do that and they're like, psych,
yeah,
different timeline.
yeah, and then but at least they do have really good fight sequences in pretty much both. Like Ace is, spoiler, a little short-lived in his anime, in One Piece, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
So he had like a lot less fight scenes to
Yeah.
go through, but still, both of them do have fun fights.
So Natsu vs. Ace is coming up next on Death Battle, and super excited. It should be pretty good. Because I believe Jets is animating that one.
Yes, he
Jets
is.
has been doing awesome with our 2D stuff, and can't wait for you guys to see that. So we'll expect us to talk about that more next week. So you know what I realized? And by that I mean what Gerardo held up a big sign while you guys were talking to remind me about.
Yeah.
I didn't talk about our community battle this week. That's what I get for having my Blue Apron reminder up instead of the actual run sheet. So, guess what? Last week, if you don't know what the community battle is, at the end of every show, we like to set a community battle for you guys to debate, and we love that you guys will get in on this and like dig up some dirt. And you want to settle like who would win in a fight. We don't do the research on this one, and we just let you guys pitch them out, and we debate it on the show, and it's a lot of fun. And last week, I believe it was Sam who
Big O and
suggested-
Batman. And I know
Yeah.
Big O is just the robot play. You know what I mean?
Roger.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
okay. I watched the cast
Yeah.
while I was traveling.
Okay.
I was so pissed that none of you knew what Big O was.
I did.
I
felt
know.
bad. I felt really bad.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know, right?
Big O. Big O, whoa, whoa, Big O, whoa, whoa. On Tsunami at night, I had to stay up. I got
Yeah.
grounded because I stayed up watching that. It was so cool. It's like Batman, but better. He got a robot.
Yeah, we were trying to watch Kid Detective. It's on the way. Like,
Batman piloting a Jaeger is what that show is.
pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much.
Oh my God, Big O! He got
I
the
get it now.
Sweet,
Thank you.
He got the sweet car and trade.
I'm sorry.
He got the Batmobile. He got everything Batman has.
Yeah, pretty
including
much.
Cool Butler.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Rich
Well, he's got the cool butler and robot friend.
and robot friends. However, giant robot that comes out to sea.
As they should.
His elbows are giant shock pistons, and
Yep.
it destroys anything he punches.
Pretty much, yeah.
Sweet.
It's pretty amazing. Cool. So anyway, if you didn't get that when Torian went flying off the
Fucking
handle,
helicopter.
the community matchup
brings the
is
robot in.
Batman versus Big O. And so let's see who's up first. Gerardo? All right. Nick, you want it?
Yeah, Cross Hatfield says Batman and his Robins have taken on gigantic monsters, the Talons, and countless other forces. Also, Hellbat fought Darkseid.
Okay.
Torian's smacking the table.
Yeah, he's just throwing that
disgust.
hand, like, he's just throwing it away. All right.
Rob, Spruce Rob, says Batman would win. Like other matches, it's a specialist versus an icon. Bats has superior training. Roger was just military.
Okay. But
We not gonna mention the giant robot powers?
Well, keep in mind, those are both for Batman. So they might be trying to downplay it. But I'm pretty sure Batman has a mech.
Yeah, and one of them.
Probably. Gerardo's nodding his head. Yes, he's been around too long to not.
I
have
doubt
a
it
mech.
was as large as Big
No,
O.
no,
no.
Big O's like building size.
Big
O
O,
is-
yeah, apparently
yeah,
it's
really
building
big.
size.
Okay.
All right, cool. Let me see. I want to see some
When
of the
was
arguments.
this, Gerardo?
Show me this. Bring this up.
The thing that holds Batman back in a death battle is that Batman is such a prep time character. Like the way he's written, it's just like not to say like he can't fight on his own. He totally can. But like
absolutely.
he excels in planning.
yeah,
For
he
sure.
excels in
Yeah.
planning out all
Like-
these ridiculous scenarios to take down these super powerful forces. You know.
He gets in a bar fight with Roger Smith. Batman has nothing for the giant robot being helicoptered in.
I mean,
Helicoptered in?
Sometimes they drop it down. Sometimes it comes from the sea. Sometimes it like goes out this tunnel.
As long as it gets there, they ain't worried.
Yeah.
Okay.
all right,
Okay.
let's see some of the arguments for Big O.
All right, let's see him. Luis F. Cruz.
Oh shit.
That's right.
I apologize because I know that's not the correct pronunciation. Roger, Big O, is directly influenced by Batman. He is Batman in every way, but with a giant robot. Roger beats Bruce. In parentheses, Batman. Spoiler. Eugene. I'm
This
so
is
sorry.
great. This is the
Big
best
O's
part
final
of the
stage can destroy a city. Also, while Batman can't beat Roger easily, the Big O has a mind of its own and has a radar for detecting stealth targets.
Oh.
Also,
That's
so
a good
Big O
one.
is there are multiple Big O's. Like they made an army of these fucking city killing things. And he
Are
has
they called
one.
like Bigger O, Biggest O?
So one
Bigger
one was
O?
called like Bigger O or something like that. 'Cause they were, like,
really? I was kidding,
It
but-
was like more powerful or something. They're like
course it was.
they're like different versions. Like some of them have like helicopter blades on the ends instead of punching. Man,
They call that one Big O.
I
Damn.
want to go watch it again.
Big O. It's been ages
one-
since I've seen it.
The one thing I feel like we might be forgetting
Ending
is
sucks, though.
Batman's Batwing plane, which
Yeah,
I'm
that was my thought. Was that the
Sure.
plane
I'm
would
sure
be pretty good.
that
but
thing is going to be like, radar won't pick it up for some reason. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Radar
I haven't
won't pick
looked
up the bat plane.
Yeah.
He just said stealth target. He can pick up stealth targets. That's a plane.
I thought that meant like if he's
point.
trying to sneak around like as Batman. I don't know.
So
Does its
so,
radar
so the robot
You can
detects
see
Batman,
hiding in the.
but it does not detect this plane that
don't
looks
know.
like no other plane.
Does Batman's suit have like anti-radar things? I can't remember. I'm sure it does.
probably.
Or it might
Yeah.
not.
Dude, and the Batwing has some sort of like secret military technology that like makes it immune to radar.
Look, Big O has a cranial laser. That's much cooler than Megazord.
You're
I
right.
mean, it's gonna cyclops him down the sky.
I'm not saying Batman would win. I'm saying I think he might have a way around the radar.
For sure. I mean,
maybe.
like I said, Batman has something for every stupid situation, right?
That's what Batman does.
However, if anything that Batman would normally win against wanted to kill him, it could, right? If Darkseid wanted to kill Batman, he could. Like I don't care who you are.
He shot those Omega beams at Batman, and Batman still didn't get hit.
Cartoon that they wrote. Darkseid.
It just doesn't count now
Darkseid.
because it's inconvenient for you.
Well, when you take the good guy always
what you're
wins
saying, though.
aspect out of
Yeah.
literature.
Because I'm just saying, if you look at what Darkseid is and what he can do, no, he shouldn't touch those Omega beams that follow you.
And yet,
They caught the Flash. They caught the Flash. You tell me Batman just dive roll?
I've seen it.
Screw you.
I've seen it.
I've seen the same thing and I didn't believe it. I turned it off.
George goes, bullshit! Turns it off. You Batman.
I get he has to be cool. I get it. I understand why that scene exists. I accept it.
I'm
But
gonna say,
still-
with no prep time, Batman wins hand to hand against Roger.
Yeah, because Roger's not that much of a
Okay.
fighter. He has a little
Oh,
zip
yeah.
thing.
Batman wins hand to hand. However, if we're gonna start them with be like, Batman, you getting your mech or whatever, and Roger, you getting Big O, I'm leaning towards Big O because the laser
Yeah.
that thing
I am too.
shoots
Also,
is insane. What's the punch that it does? That punch and it's like the humongous,
Yeah, the
like,
piston comes out of his
super
arm. You're
blast
like,
laser
damn.
thing too that like takes out a
So,
city and shit. Yeah,
at its final form, the ending, which is the shittiest part about this show. Sorry, can be all roses, I guess, all the time. Ending's really bad. Apparently, the Big O's can just erase existence and start it over.
Well, that's a little bit of a
Erase
Trump card.
existence. Is that
Yeah.
what he
So
was
at the
saying?
end, Roger, there's this woman. She pilots a big old. It's like spoopy big old, right? It's all
Spoopy?
yeah.
it's all gross-like and stuff.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
like a spoopy, ethereal big old, and he's like
It's got a
standing
big
there,
sheet over
and
it.
he's like, "We've done this so many times or
holes cut out for the
whatever,
eyes.
but I'm gonna always come back and blah blah blah." And the two big olds meet, and existence is gone, and it starts over. The shittiest ending ever, but that is a thing.
That's stupid.
Hey, I'm gonna go with Big O then.
Yeah, Big O.
Big
Yeah,
O.
good luck on that one, Batman.
Big O.
They can reset existence.
Big O.
But you need two
Big
of
O
them,
it
it sounds
is.
like. But whatever.
Yeah. Well, again,
Still, when it comes to robots, Big O.
yeah,
Oh, they have. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah.
Oh man. So hey, Torian, quick question. Did you have a thing of the week?
I
for
didn't.
us?
I was, you guys upgraded my computer. I'm still trying to move stuff
Gotcha. Oh,
around.
yeah, that's right. We totally
So I
wiped your
didn't make
computer. You didn't have
anything.
time to do that. That's fine.
You know what your
Because I'm
thing of
pretty
the
sure we
week-
got an out of context comic book panel,
I
which
had
I'm
a thing of the week.
excited to see.
Wait, Sam has.
Sam?
No, I just said, wait, I just knew what it should have been. Did y'all see because they had all the Injustice 2 stuff come out, all the trailers and stuff? They did the Flash one. His ultimate's just like the dumbest thing. He
Oh,
takes
yeah.
the guy time traveling and then bitch slaps a T-Rex with the guy
And then
goes back to him hitting the guy when he started the combo and hits him against himself.
It is one of
in,
the, it is
like,
one of the more
you know,
unique all supers
There's a
I've
lot
seen.
like he takes a
Yeah.
person into
That's
the
kind of
Speed
awesome.
Force to like time travel him, and then he breaks the nose off a Sphinx while they're building it in like ancient Egypt, and then he goes back into the Speed Force and then uses the guy to bitch slap a T-Rex, and then goes back to when he started the combo against the person he's currently holding and hits him into himself.
Hits him with himself.
Yeah, and then goes back to where they are in the fight.
He hits past him with future him.
Yeah, it's like
That's-
it's
it's pretty cool.
super
Hilarious.
silly.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
Pretty amazing. All right, cool. So let's see what this out of context comic book panel is.
My eyes are over here now.
All right, and as Barry Allen,
Perfect.
fitting, and his wife exit from the plane. Chad, how do you do his voice?
Ha! Is esteemed. Whoa. Pharaoh? It's really hard to read. Ha! Is esteemed Pharaoh criminologist Barry. Oh, God.
I just
oh, my
realized-
God. I just realized what. Holy shit. All right.
It took me
yo,
until I saw
The
criminologist.
following is done surely
my
because
Lord.
it's written this way. Hi, it's esteemed Pharaoh criminologist Barry Aronson. Welcome to Japan.
I follow the asterisk. It says difficulty of pronouncing L's in Japanese language.
Difficulty of pronouncing.
even the
Holy
comic
shit.
itself.
Hash.
Oh my gosh.
It's been a long time to see. A long time no see, Cap Hash. Meet my child.
Child bride Iris.
Child bride.
bride.
This is getting weird. He
getting
sure
real
can
weird.
put me on that cutie. What? But I
He
love
sure
it,
can put
Hash.
me on that cutie.
what?
But I
Oh,
love it,
got
Hash. Wow.
It's just a
Holy
Yeah, that's
shit.
racist and poorly written.
Yeah.
Impressive.
both.
We've
Poorly
doubled
written
down.
racism.
What gets me is that, like, at the bottom where it says difficulty, that's not a character saying that. That's just the comic.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
just the writer.
Yeah.
Well, it's clearly from a time where people weren't so
Sensitive to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And it was just plain funny.
Criminologist.
That I believe the writers were laughing at that because they wrote that thing at the bottom.
Oh yeah,
No,
totally.
no doubt.
So they're like, we need to explain it just in case someone was wondering. You know, like, wow, good find. Whoever
That's-
that was.
That's racist.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a fun game to play. Is that racist?
Racist
Pull
cast.
things up. That's not
is
that's
racist.
not a podcast I want to be a part of, Torian.
To be fair, you can open up like most comic books from like the 60s and 70s, and it's a little bit racist.
Yeah, God, Jesus. What do you call that, Torian? It's like, hey, welcome back to Race War, you know, or something just like.
Racist cast. Just rolls off. No, just save me.
No,
You're just getting
we're
drowned
burying
alone
you
now. So what's next on the docket so we can move past racism?
Yeah. So thanks for that. Don't forget, you guys can always submit out of context comic book panels by using that hashtag DeathMetalCast. It's over there in the corner.
Follow me.
You can also use it to send us questions and comments, and we answer them on the show now. So I hope you guys were doing that. And here,
segue.
let's see the first question.
I'll take it.
I was waiting.
Death Battle Fanatic says, so how did you guys decide between using the Super Sentai stats for the Megazord and the toy stats? Actually, we
That's wow, cool. We actually talked about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, everything I talked about earlier, you can see the Super Sentai heights and weights.
But so one of the reasons too is like why we chose like between the two is because we're doing Power Rangers.
Yeah,
Like
it is
Power
a different
Rangers
story,
is a different show than
characters.
Super Sentai. So while that one,
While it has roots in Super Sentai, it is not.
in Super Sentai's world, that's its dimensions. In Power Rangers world,
Yeah,
these are its dimensions.
Plus,
so.
like the 333-foot thing is supported in the Power Rangers comics. Like, there's times that we even showed one of the comic scans in the episode where it's like gut punching that monster. It's clearly a lot taller than 137 feet, whatever the 41 meters comes out to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's clearly a lot taller, so we felt all the more confident in going with that measurement.
Yep. There you go. Cool. Next one.
Yeah. This is from Adam Culver. Who do you guys think is the most powerful Disney villain? Oh gosh.
I mean, we talked
most
about
powerful.
Jafar a little bit, but like not Captain Hook.
Yeah.
Maybe Maleficent, dude.
She turns into a dragon.
Yeah, not Cruella de Vil. I think
she's
Maleficent.
low tier. It's
Maleficent-
Jafar or Maleficent, probably.
Yeah, maybe Ursula. I don't know what she seems to be able to like control the sea or
Ursula
something.
when
but-
she has the trident.
When she has the trident,
But
yeah.
even then, like, you just got to stab her with a piece of wood and she dies.
Yeah.
Remember when they
yeah.
ran the ship into her?
Yeah.
Yep.
The pointy, yeah.
Is that a
Well,
villain in Moana?
I still haven't seen that movie.
Okay.
The volcano lady, but she turns out to be.
Don't ruin shit for people.
Right.
But
Remember
yeah,
when I
that's
just said I haven't
well,
seen it yet?
spoiler everything
Taka-
else, but
Taka is
Moana.
kind of the villain, but also like in a way, Maui is kind of the villain too.
Sure.
Like, yeah, it's a bonding thing. Which man, God,
okay.
I rewatched that movie with Kira this weekend. God, the music in that movie is so flipping good. It is ridiculous. All right, cool. I'm gonna go with Maleficent because she can turn into a gigantic
Yeah.
dragon and has a lot of magic
The
power.
busted cars from
gonna-
Cars.
The what?
The old ones that they wanted to get better. They hated the new cars. Whatever.
I never saw Cars.
That was just straight up age discrimination on Cars' part. But
I'm going to go with Sid from Toy Story.
I feel like there's one that I'm just totally missing. So I need to look at all the villains like right in front of me. But right now I'm gonna lean towards Maleficent. So
yeah, Maleficent seems like, I mean, she can turn into a giant dragon and stuff. Seems pretty much like that's your go-to.
Jafar can do that too.
Yeah, Jafar
he's
seems
got,
good
he's way
too,
more
but-
versatile.
I don't know. Maleficent just seems
I
like
remember they have the Angelina Jolie movie and stuff.
I haven't seen that one.
Jafar is evil, but Maleficent just seems like more evil in my mind.
We're talking about who's the most powerful, not who's the most
Yeah, I
evil.
mean,
I
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
but,
but if you cut
when
it
you're
down-
evil sorcerers,
Yeah.
it's usually hand in hand.
You cut it down. You
I
just
guess. I would still pick Jafar.
take out
He's
anybody
restricted
who
by the land.
don't have magic. Yeah, he's
Which-
restricted by the man.
What does that even mean?
And he
That
gets
didn't
beat
stop him in
by-
Return to Jafar?
And he gets beat by Donald, Sora, and Groot.
I mean, it didn't until the very end.
Yeah.
with the Keyblade. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
What?
Donald,
Okay.
Sora, and Goofy beat him. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah. All right,
Sure.
cool. That's interesting though. And man,
Yeah, no, I'm
there's some Disney
forgetting.
stuff that we want to do. We just haven't done it yet. So you'll see.
And there's got to be some we're forgetting too, as far
Oh,
as
yeah, I'm sure.
Disney villains.
Yeah. All right.
Good question.
What else we got?
Dude Blade X to everyone except Ben and or Chad.
Oh, I was about to be like, well, perfect. He's not even here. But then
What Death Battle host personas would you have? So, like, if we were hosting, what would our characters be like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what he has Boomstick and Ben has Wiz. What would our characters be? And I actually kind of tried to do this, not for myself. I just thought it'd be fun. But Chad and Ben just killed the entire idea of having a talking dog. And I think that would probably be the go-to. I wanted to have a talking dog be in
Talking dog, that'd be
not
good.
even in Death Battle, just in Deska Death Battle. So that Boomstick would have somebody on his level to talk with. Was the point. And like it was, there was a whole bunch of good dog jokes. Oh, it was brilliant, full of puns. And then
I remember
Chad
the
and Ben
way it was
hated the
written was
idea.
really weird though. There was like you tried to explain it in like one sentence as to like why this talking dog has appeared. I like
Boomstick got it because he was drunk and brought home a dog. And then
Didn't realize they could talk.
Wiz is a scientist who needed something to experiment on and made the dog talk. But he was still a dog. So yeah.
I mentioned this before, but like early in the show, and everybody was still trying to figure out what it was, or rather how best to present all the information and stuff. There was an idea thrown out there where like I would be like some sort of inventor or something like that. I can't remember any of the details. Do you remember any of that? Do you remember that being brought up? It was an idea that was just kind of tossed out and then quickly thrown in the garbage.
So you would be an inventor?
That's just what came to my mind when the question was asked. I just remember like that there was a time when that might have been my involvement in the show. It wouldn't have been a host, I don't think. We might have to ask Ben.
Okay.
But he's not here.
Torian?
I don't know. Maybe like pyrotechnics guy.
I love it. It's
Send
like
a
they want to
bunch
know
of-
the personas, and you guys are just like, this is what my job would be.
Oh,
Like-
well, I know. I think it'll just be me.
There you go.
I'll be the reality part of it. Like
What?
Because Wiz and Boomstick are fictional.
Oh, you would just
I would
not even
be-
a character. You'd just be Torian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just like
I mean,
I'm the
green screen,
animator.
you walk in front of the episode,
Yeah.
pausing the episode, explaining stuff or whatever.
Yeah, it'd be great.
the fourth wall is not that strong. But,
Yeah.
I can bust through it. All right, cool. Do you have any more, Gerard, or is that it? Cool. All right, well, again, make sure you guys use that hashtag DeathBattleCast. Send us your questions, and maybe you'll get answered next week. Also, yeah, anything you want to send out. And we need to send out a community battle for them to debate for next week's show.
That's right.
Let's see. What other topics came? Oh, we just did Genie. Because I was thinking like Disney villain or something. but-
Can we do one last giant robot thing to combine?
I wanted to do
just-
that. I wanted to say that. But
Well, I was going to say the Megazord versus Big O.
we just did Big O,
the
though.
Megazord
like-
also has like magical powers.
Not
kinda.
matchup.
Yeah, but let's not recycle
Okay.
those yet. Come on, we got, I don't know, I'm sure we can think of something. What's something funny? Anybody been thinking about anything wacky lately? Raisin Bran's son versus...
Yeah.
tired and old.
what do we got? Oh, okay, so... Ooh, I don't want to put him in. I was about to say, like, we just talked about Flash and his crazy, ridiculous injustice thing.
Oh.
But Flash is a hard character to put
Yeah,
against
Flash is
people.
kinda garbage.
What about
Fucking Speed
other
Force, man.
other speedsters?
Oh, we did
specifically-
Flash versus Quicksilver.
Yeah, yeah.
What, you want like Flash versus Sonic the Hedgehog?
No. You know what? Sure. I was gonna say Speedy Gonzalez versus the Roadrunner, but okay.
Speedy Gonzalez versus the Roadrunner.
It's either that or it's the Flash versus Sonic.
We're gonna, let's say Flash versus Sonic. But if you would like to also answer the question of Roadrunner versus Speedy Gonzalez,
We should just have a battle royale of
But
speedsters.
then we're just doing two community battles at that
yes,
point.
that is
a
correct.
battle royale of
Okay.
speedsters. You pick one. You pick one. I pick one. You pick one. Go.
You want a four-way?
Roadrunner.
Yep.
Roadrunner.
I'm gonna say we can't pick the Flash. So, Sonic.
009.
I'm just gonna go back and do Speedy Gonzalez. Yeah, I'm gonna back
about
Nick
you?
up.
I pick 009.
Okay.
Okay, so we got Sonic, 009, Speedy Gonzalez,
And the
Twice.
Roadrunner.
and the Roadrunner. In a fight to the death between those people.
So we normally take 4 comments anyway. It'll just be one
for
for
each.
each character.
Speedy
works.
Gonzalez does have tiny guns, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good here. I'm good. I'm set.
He's
I'm
shooting
ready.
everybody else so they can't run.
The Roadrunner's
The only
going
He just
down.
hits them all in their hamstrings. And like,
The only problem is I think 009 is the only one out of here who has the speedster time shit. So he's a robot. He's a cyborg.
Okay, whatever.
Anyway,
Whatever,
on
we'll
with
see.
it.
All right, there's your
On with it.
community
Battle
death
Royale.
battle. Answer using the Death Battle Cast hashtag on Twitter. And, maybe we'll choose you next week. What a ridiculous one to choose. Man, thank you guys so much for coming out. And remember, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, you guys can always become a first member by clicking the link in the description below. Start a 30-day free trial. You get to watch us live every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central, as well as get access to like behind-the-scenes commentary on Death Battle and videos early. And it's a lot of great stuff. So go check it out and try it for free.
Yeah.
And we will see you guys next week.
Later.
Later.